the single most important thing that the cardiovascular system has to do is make sure that blood pressure stays adequate. And evolutionarily, the issue really was making sure blood pressure stayed high enough to ensure enough oxygen and nutrients to the brain. In a normal health, in any mammal other than a human, the issues of high blood pressure aren't there. High blood pressure in a human is a fairly recent thing as far as a health crisis, and it coincides with poor diet, poor lifestyle, and an increase in the sedentary lifestyle. So as humans started eating more salt, eating more processed food, eating more fat, moving less, and whatever, the consequences of that are what triggered high blood pressure. So evolutionarily, our body never had to deal with high blood pressure, so we don't have a mechanism to help us lower blood pressure. In fact, there's really only one way to do it, and we'll comment on that in a minute. We do, however, have lots of ways to elevate blood pressure, because if my blood pressure were to drop, if I don't get it back up pretty quickly, there are going to be some pretty serious consequences for that. So we have a lot of mechanisms that facilitate in raising blood pressure. We only have one good way to lower blood pressure. That's why if you give yourself hypertension because of your lifestyle, your body doesn't know what to do with it. It can't lower it because we don't know how. Right? We haven't had to do that before. So there's no mechanisms to do that. So the mechanisms we do have, though, are there to really elevate blood pressure. And I want to look at this renin angiotensin aldosterone system called RAS. Right? So this is renin, angiotensin. There are two forms of that, 1 and 2. We're really creative in the way we name things in biology. Aldosterone. There's another hormone that's part of this as well, and that is called ADH. You heard of that one before? Mm-hmm. And it also goes by the name vasopressin. I'll put both names down there. And we'll see the different ones. Now what happens is that in response to a low blood pressure, the body will respond by producing all of these different hormones. So this is all a hormonal response, it's an endocrine response. In response to all of those, we'll see blood pressure go up. Now at the same time, with the nervous system, you think you get a sympathetic or a parasympathetic response to this?
Parasympathetic.
Blood pressure drops, sympathetic or parasympathetic?
Sympathetic.
Sympathetic, right? Because what do we want to do? Stimulate the heart rate, right? Epinephrine makes IF channels more permeable, depolarize faster, heart rate goes up. Epinephrine's a positive inotropic agent, increase the contractile force of the heart, right? Stroke volume goes up. Heart rate, stroke volume goes up, cardiac output goes up, blood pressure goes up. That make sense? Yeah? So that's pretty easy to get down. So we'll do that one. So just to refresh your memory, what did we say? Stroke volume increases, heart rate increases, cardiac output increases, and all of that made the blood pressure go up. That's the sympathetic response. But what I want to show you is the hormonal mechanism here, what all of this does. So I'm going to start right here. We're going to have a drop in blood pressure. We're going to see the production of these hormones. And then the result is going to be somewhere way down here. Negative feedback from the blood pressure increases. Is that okay?